Hi, everyone. This is Alexandra from Hear Me Roar, and welcome to Cacao Talk episode 9. Today I did get it right. Yesterday was episode 8, and I totally called it episode 7. All good. So today's topic, why do we lose momentum and is it bad? But first, one of the most important things, cacao. So let's take a sip. Mm. Mm. Today I tried a new mix. I steeped some lavender and then I added some cardamom, which is a very strong flavor, but I really enjoy it, and some date syrup. So that's in the cacao today. Also, another quick side note, today, literally right outside my window is a concert festival, which is just so nice to see people getting out and us all getting to be able to hang out together and celebrate life and so forth. So the reason I share that is if at any point in the video the music gets really loud, that's what's going on, and it's going on all day, so we got to work with what we have. So I do just want to give you a heads up about that beforehand. So anyways, why do we lose momentum and is a bad thing? Now, this topic is another one of those big topics that we can really dissect and break down to different sections. And then it really does also lean itself into procrastination, right? And for a second, I debated calling this episode procrastination or the purpose of procrastination and so forth. But the best way that I always can help share is through my own personal experiences. And so when I was reflecting a little bit more about what is going on with me, it's more, the feeling is more like, it can be categorized as losing momentum, right? So I'm just going to share one example of times that we can lose the momentum, and then really what is the purpose of it? How can we potentially pivot our perception on it, or help us understand a little bit more why it's happening and go into a more of a co-creative energy with this thing that's coming up for us in this situation is maybe a little lag in momentum versus, again, thinking like every time I take one step forward, 2 steps back, or, being in the victim narrative, like how can we pivot that, right? So for me, what's going on right now is the last couple of weeks and month or so, I've had so much excitement and so much momentum being put behind growing my business, and more specifically, realizing that I'm really ready to be led by a coach or a mentor in the next layer of my business, right? My business has really shown me what it's capable of doing and how it can evolve and expand. And of course, I'm doing a great job. I do get triggers, but I do know that in the bigger picture, I'm doing a good job. I am committed. I am showing up. I'm taking steps, to move forward in this. And it was more like this invitation for my business to say like, hey, if you want to reach this goal, you could reach it, in the next couple of years. Or if you went and allowed yourself to be coached, you could reach this goal within the next couple of months, and neither one is like, yes, I could say that, shorter time is better than longer time, but also what if I'm not ready for that, right? It's both of them are just opportunities, right? And so I was definitely aligned with the possibility of allowing myself to hire a coach so I can accelerate the process, because it is something that I'm ready for. I'm very aligned with that. I'm very excited about that. That makes me very happy. It makes me very excited, right? So I started, going on social media and just finding different free programs, masterminds, introduction, coaching calls, just so that I could shop for coaches, right? And it was really exciting because the further I went into it, and every little program I did or every coach I spoke gave me a little bit more clarity of really what I was looking for, how I want to be supported, how I want to be led, right? How it will both nurture where I am right now, but allow me to grow out of my comfort zone, right? So there was a lot of momentum. There was a lot of like green flags, a lot of signs of go, 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 right? So I finally really got clarity on what I wanted out of the coach. And I found 2 programs that I felt really excited about. So I go to bed that night. I wake up the next morning, and all of a sudden I could just feel like this. At first it was a, uh-oh. I was like, why am I not as excited anymore? And, we all have those moments, right? Where we're like, oh my God, wait, what just happened? I had so much energy. I had so much excitement. It was in that moment a hell yes. Like, why all of a sudden now am I not excited for this, And so the first thing I did, like I always share in my videos when something like this comes up, is I paused, I took a breath, I stepped back, and I stepped into the role of the witness. And then I dropped into my body, right? Because I wanted it to connect with my inner child, my higher self, my ego, those parts, the extended parts of me, and see what narratives they were saying, right? Why the momentum kind of had slowed down, and it hasn't slowed down all the way, but it was really significant. I noticed a big slowdown of the momentum from the day before, right? And I was not getting any triggers of fear. I wasn't getting any triggers of overwhelmment. I wasn't witnessing or hearing anything like, oh no, this is not what I want to do. I didn't feel any heaviness or resistance in my body, right? So I was like, okay, so what is going on then, right? Because sometimes there is a lack of momentum for those reasons. And if it happened to have been one of those reasons, then I definitely would have implemented other processes to navigate through that, right? So I can kind of release or express that emotion or that narrative and transmute it, and then keep moving on with the momentum, which is what I would have done if it had been for one of those reasons. But in this situation, this was a very unique one in the sense that I wasn't getting any of those. It wasn't this sense of resistance. It wasn't the sense of internalized, red flags, don't do this, or triggers. It wasn't any of that. What I heard more from my higher self is that I am stepping into a phase right now in my life. And remember, I'm a big proponent of life is all about phases. And I realized that next month, I have this training program that I am very excited about. And I'm going to go commit myself for 24/7 for 10 days to this training program that really focuses more on tantric energies. And it provides a beautiful balance of being able to work on myself and then learn how to work with my clients implementing these tools. And then there's going to be some business coaching that goes with that, right? So I realized the significance of that. Like when I go to that retreat, next month, the person that comes out of that retreat, the Alex that's going to come out of that retreat, is going to be at a very, very different vibration than where I am right now, right? And so what my higher self, my inner knowing was showing me or telling me was that right now I'm in this phase where it's almost like I'm gathering, I'm putting in front of me, I'm lining up, right? I'm allowing myself to allow the universe to show me and line up in front of me all the different opportunities that I have out there for me, right? It's showing me that the intuition of the guidance I'm wanting, that the next programs I want to offer in my business, that the next level of growth, it's showing me that yes, there are many opportunities and for me to be supported in that. But the thing is that right now I am not in the phase to make the final decision because of this training I'm going to do and the transformation that's going to happen for me during that training. It would be a better opportunity, right? If I allowed myself right now to just pause, to surrender, to witness, not feel the urgency, right? But more be in this space of just appreciation and gratitude and a magnet for everything that's coming to me, go to the training, go through my transformation. And then when I come out on the other side, then that's the version of Alexandra that's going to be ready to make the decisions, because the decisions I make right now, which I totally can, I know in me that I may not make those decisions, or I may have wanted to make different decisions had I waited until after the training, right? So I feel that sometimes when we lose momentum, again, it's not because we've done anything wrong, right? But I feel that the reason we lose momentum is either there is a trigger, it's going back to our roots. I've spoken about this in other videos of, sometimes understanding emotional triggers and, our opportunities to show us where in our foundation may need some evaluation, transmutation, expression and letting go and stuff. So I do feel that sometimes the lack in momentum or the stagnation, right? Like you were going, and then you kind of feel like it's kind of slowing down, or maybe it came to a complete halt, sometimes it is because there's something within us that we need to assess and evaluate and transmute so that we can be more of a vibrational match. And then sometimes it's more of like what's going on with me right now. It's not the phase, right? Right now is not the moment to make that final decision. And so I could view this as, oh my God, my momentum has gone down. What's wrong? What happened? Or I can just see the momentum is still there. The desire is still there. The knowing that this is going to be the next phase is still there. However, at this phase of the momentum, it's more about just being here and witnessing and just growing from the knowing that there's so many opportunities, and then trusting that when it is the right time to make the final decision, I will just get pushed, right? I'll have that rocket energy to push me forward. I really don't know, honestly, what to call that, as I was making the cacao, I'm always, just receiving downloads of the topic and what I want to share. So I really don't know what to call that. I just wanted to express why sometimes, and explain different reasons why we may lose momentum, and that it's not a bad thing, right? It is an opportunity for us to go into self-reflection, for us to go in and self-reflect of like, why is the momentum slowing down? And again, it's not because there's anything wrong with us or that we're broken or need to get fixed. It's just what new awarenesses would be important for us to have right now, right? What are some narratives in inner dialogues that would be beneficial to shift? Or just understanding that in this phase, it's not about, right now is not to make this decision. Right now is just to be in it and to express it, to the level where it is meant to be right now. So just wanted to share that with you guys. As usual, feel free to make comments and ask questions below and make any suggestions for any future Cacao Talk topics. And thank you guys so much for joining me today. And I will see you guys tomorrow.